Hey guys, it's late at night. I'm gonna be casting some Terran versus Terran. Hopefully I don't fall behind because these are two of the brainiest players that we have. Light over here versus Flash. And we've got some games. We've got a series. I won't say how many games in this series. And I also probably won't be able to tell you exactly what they're thinking because these two are far beyond me. I mean, even the Zerg players in Zerg matchups, I'm not going to be able to catch everything, but especially in this matchup, Terran versus Terran is one of the ones that I know least about. But both players opening very similar, getting their gases online at the same time, slightly proxying their factories towards the outside of their base. They're going to make a couple of Marines and then lift those off and go get some scouting information. Second supply depot on both sides, and a factory gets started at exactly the same time. So look at how crisp these two timings are. If you're a Terran player looking for a TvT build, you're probably going to want to copy one of these two guys. Look at Flash pulling all of his SCVs off of gas. Not even getting that little trickle going in case you wanted to, for instance, throw down a add-on on this factory kind of early on. Maybe that's what we'll see out of Light. He's got that little bit of extra gas. He may want to get the add-on slightly faster. We've got 2 Marines out for Flash, 2 Marines for Light as well. So yeah, if you're Terran looking for a TvT build, probably this is the one you want to practice, because if both Light and Flash are doing it on the ladder, you know that it's got to be pretty darn good, pretty darn optimized, and should give them opportunities to react to anything that their opponent is doing. That SCV just barely slips by into Light space. That's a bit annoying. Flash SCV right there, 6 HP on that. Still needs to take 2 more hits to actually die, which is 2 more shots from these Marines. He definitely wasn't going to get that as it ran past. Looks like the Vulture gonna do a little damage to that coming up onto the high ground. He puts tiny bits of damage onto it, and so Flash is actually gonna pull back his Vulture and repair. Doesn't want to lose the early game trade. Oh, actually, you know what? He did make that machine shop, and I think Flash saw that as well. And so seeing the machine shop, he knows he's gonna have more Vultures. You can see he's got 2 out already, but the potential for a upgrade is there. But look, he's gonna start a second factory rather than the upgrade, and he's continuing to just mine with 1 on gas, whereas Flash is mining 3 on gas. He's gonna start his second factory as well, but there's more Vultures on the map right now for Flash, and so he has a tiny bit of an advantage. Is he gonna push that advantage and try to make it into something more? It's pretty hard to do when the rally point for your opponent is so close in their natural. You can see he's got the 2 Marines. So that's going to add a lot of DPS. 3 Vulture versus 3 Vulture with the potential to pull SCVs and start repairing. I don't think that's going to be a winning scenario for Flash. He's going to wait for 1 more Vulture and then maybe go. But look, right as that Vulture arrives, the Vulture of Light pops out as well. Light's build looking a little better, honestly. He was able to get that machine shop really early on. Wasn't able to use it until just now when he starts his speed, but he was able to hold on to everything. Didn't have the option for aggression, but Flash can't really push in and punish that early machine shop. Now, similar numbers of Vultures out on the map. Flash actually behind 1 Vulture. As 2 more pop out, will even the odds. Dead even on the SCV count, by the way. Both players hitting their stride perfectly in this game, keeping those SCVs pumping. And we'll see if one player wants to go fully commit into Vultures, or if we're gonna see a transition. Watch for the armory to come down as a sign that one of these players is planning to transition. But more factories coming up for Flash. He's gonna go to 4. Will we see a 4th factory from Light as well? I don't see it just yet. but it's not out of the question. He's got more SCVs. In fact, Flash has stopped making SCVs. Okay, Flash is cutting SCVs to get these extra factories out. Light is geared more towards the late game, so he is continuing to build these SCVs. He's 6 SCVs ahead, but he may lose the Vulture War because of this small fact. This small cut to the SCVs could end up giving Flash a small advantage. Does he have speed on these? Doesn't look like he does. They're all quite slow. Whereas the vultures of his opponent are very fast. Okay, no, he does have speed. Excuse me. They were just kind of behind each other there. The concave is looking a little bit better for Light, honestly. Flash should have more. I mean, those extra factories haven't kicked in though yet, and the Marines are doing a lot of extra DPS. He's gonna have to pull back. Light winning that handily. Wouldn't have expected that was the way it would go, but now he's got an armory on the way. He's looking to transition. Flash is just stuck here building more vultures. He's trying not to die. Really doesn't want to just get smacked down here. Look at him. He dropped 10 workers behind. 10 workers behind, and he still lost that fight. Man, he really shouldn't have taken that fight, I think, until those extra factories were done and a couple of rounds of vultures had come out of those. That's when the sacrifice of letting go those extra SCVs or stopping SCV production for a little bit would actually start to, like, the benefits of getting those earlier factories would start to finally come online. One vulture gonna run by for Light, try to get a kill or two. Looks like he might get one. He only gets one. A tank though has been set up. Academy in the front. That's funny. Just a building to block. That's all that is. Just to suck up some damage. That's all he needs it to do. The one tank in there is insanely good unless a mine goes down and he isn't able to target it. I think he should be able to do that though. Shouldn't be a problem. Falling already. 15 supply behind Light. My goodness. Light is taking Flash to class right now. Getting a pretty big advantage, but this is TvT. There's still plenty of play here. Anything can happen. Mines could connect on certain things that mines are not supposed to connect on. Things like tanks surrounded by vultures can easily switch a game, can easily pull a game back into your favor from a deficit. We'll see if any mistakes are made though by Light. He's quite a consistent player, especially once he gets a little bit of a lead. Very rare that he would ever give that up. It's one of the hallmarks of a great player. Finally, the armory comes up, but you can just see how far behind that armory is. He starts double armory, in fact. Double armory gonna finish up here for Flash. So he's gonna start to crank out upgrades, but he's a little bit behind in that regard already. Tanks coming up on this high ground, just fighting low to high with the vultures. On this left side of the third that's coming up already for Light is not the greatest trade. Looks like he wanted to build a CC over here. Might just get a scan going and clear that mine out so that he can start to move. Oh my goodness, that mine. Ooh, don't do it. Don't do it, Flash. Oh boy. Oh, losing a tank. Not looking good, guys. Not looking good at all. Light is pushing forward. Flash is just trying to hold his ground, trying to save his own life, save his own skin. You can see the tank advantage handily in Light's favor. There's tank 3 and 4. There's already 4 tanks on the front line, plus 1 on the defensive and 2 more at the rally. Light is very far ahead. My gosh, I just heard a tank go down, but I think I missed it. I'm not sure exactly where it was. Maybe coming out from the rally point. Yeah, he sent 2 tanks. He sent 2 tanks and 1 tank died. Oh my goodness, that's so painful. Again, 9 SCVs behind. And the third base is already online here for Light. Class is in session. Professor Light showing Flash how it's done. Is he going to be able to close this game out, though? With the lead he's got, I should say, it's going to be fairly simple. As long as he just takes this base down here and builds some drops, he can start to hit this main. Just needs to prevent push outs from different directions here. He's set up in the middle of the map. A very easily defendable position. Some dropships already on the way. He's already got that angle in mind. This is so punishable. If he can move into this position, siege up on this low ground, start firing in here. You're defending your base down here. It's very hard to push through this area too if you're set up there, and then you can start dropping inside the main and just make life a living hell for that Terran player. It's just a tough situation. He's gonna go for a forward vulture drop into the main already, whereas Flash is he's concerning himself with trying to take the middle. He's trying to spread out so that he can have a tank line, a nice tank line to defend and start to fight over these bases. If he gets up on this high ground and holds that area, that could be quite strong, but I don't know if the game's gonna go that late. Doesn't feel like it to me. It feels like Light is taking too many advantages already, and he's already gonna get into this main base with the first drop, start to deal some damage, start to kill some SCVs. He's going to drop over the natural as well. Unfortunately, gets nothing for that. And Flash has brought back, to his credit, Flash has brought back that worker deficit. He's now just, what, 1-2 workers behind, now equal on workers. This is some pretty good stuff from Flash. Light is getting his next base online, though. He's already got his 4th base up. Let's check his factory count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 factories. 2, 3, 4, 5 factories with the 6 on the way for Flash. He's moving around the top side. He definitely wants to take this area. Even taking this or this area would be good, but meanwhile, at the same time, Flash pushing up to the top. Light gonna push forward, realizing there's a moment of weakness here. If he can get even to this spot right there, he can start to hit things in the main base. He doesn't need to push up onto this high ground, but that would be nearly a killing blow if he could make that work. Alternatively, yeah, he could just pull this back, set up on this high ground, start to shell this, and then, yeah, start to drop in there again. Very difficult position to play from. Flash just going to tap out, realizing how hard this is going to be. He wants to go to the next game, and so will we. Let's jump into game number 2 between Light and Flash. Okay, Light over in the top left, Flash in the bottom right. You could mistake this for a game from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, as it's here on Fighting Spirit. But this is a game from 2025, the return of Flash. I've been hearing some rumors about him maybe coming back to the ASL, or perhaps that being delayed because of another wrist surgery he may have to undergo. If you want more information about that, I suggest you check out Jinjin 5000, JINJIN 5000. He makes posts about the condition of the pro players and any news related to Starcraft coming out of Korea. He's pretty good about it. And so there may be a world where we don't see Flash in SSL this year. That would be unfortunate. Really looking forward to seeing him play, but he may have to take a break, maybe 6 months or something like that to recover. I'm not sure how long it takes to recover from a serious wrist surgery, but I'm sure it's not a simple process. And then, of course, after you're recovered enough to play, you still need to recover your play enough to join the SSL as well. So we could be looking at another year, guys, unfortunately, if that's the way Flash decides to go. More power to him. I think that taking care of your health is the #1 concern. This game is not going anywhere. The SSL is going to continue to run, so no rush. Make sure you're in good shape, you're in good health, so that you can continue to play long into the future. Let's see if Flash... Oh, he actually opened with the CC before Gas this game. And we've just got the exact same build from Light as last game. So there's a little bit of an advantage to be had here for Flash. There is a pressure difference, though. Light will be able to put a lot more pressure. Wow, 6 HP again. This SCV. It's not in the main base to scout everything, but still gets away with 6 HP. And there will be, like I said, a pressure difference. We're probably going to see the barracks float out and land. We might see another building built on top of this. Meanwhile, the barracks are going to be floated across the map to start to get scouting information. So there will be Light slightly behind in overall workers, slightly behind in his economy. But with this earlier tech, having the option to do something like Wraith, he could just build tanks. He could just go straight into a bunch of vultures and put mines in front of the base, which is probably what we'll see. He's also going to have the asymmetrical scouting information. He will have this barracks, whereas the barracks is back at home for Flash, part of his wall. That is a very important part of his wall. He's going to build a supply depot behind that. That's a funny little block there. I like it, actually. It means that the vultures can run by into the mineral line, but they can't run by straight into the main. This is going to be blocked. So they can come up this way, but then SCVs can be pulled to the gas and block there. And then the bunker can deal the damage. So I like it. I think it's a good idea. This is definitely something that I would copy if I ever played Terran. And so Flash gonna go up to 3 factories. Whereas just kind of sitting here. Oh, there's the starport. Whoa, I didn't even see that. Hold up. The starport's done. And a dropship's on the way. He's gonna do a vulture drop after laying these mines out in the front. I think Flash is gonna be okay though. He's got triple vulture being made at home and he's not planning to move out. So unless he moves out right as the drop comes in, I think he should be able to run back and just save this. He's even gonna have speed when this comes in. So vulture speed will be done. He's even scouting his main. Look at that scout. Wow. Yeah, he sees it. Oh, but the vultures left the base. Oh my god, the timing on this is horrible. Back at home, supply depot wall has been made. He does have 3 vultures out here, but 4 vultures does so much damage. Takes so long for these to clear. He kills quite a few workers. Oh, he's managed to kill the supply depot that was building as well. But he lost a few vultures in the process. This is an interesting trade between these two. Flash losing like 4 or 5 workers. It actually evens things out quite a bit. Might even have been less workers than that, but that was the feeling I got. 1 worker here and maybe 3 workers in the mineral line. And Flash managed to kill 1 worker, I think, building that supply depot, maybe 2. And then killed the supply depot to try and get in. Drop gonna come back in for some more. 3 vultures still inside that. Oh, these Marines are trying to clear that out. He wants to start a CC, but unfortunately for him, that's not gonna be possible. Drop in the natural. 1, 2, and a 3. And a 4th. 4 workers have been killed, and these 2 vultures managed to survive once again. So another 4 workers, not bad at all. Like getting some real damage there and slowing down Flash just slightly. In fact, giving himself the worker lead. Wow, 5 workers, 6 worker advantage. Excellent, excellent stuff for Light. His CC is a bit slower. His 3rd CC is a bit slower. He's got 5 factories coming up, and there's only 4 at home. Or 3, excuse me, for Flash. Can he actually snipe this worker? That would be huge. Alright, not going to risk it. Slowing that CC down in addition to scouting it would be amazing, but what he's going to have to do is push with his tanks up onto this high ground, and maybe Flash can do something about that. Move out and kill this control tower. There's the dropship as well. Dropping down the Marine. This is so sneaky. Look at this. Look at what he's doing right now. Dropping a Marine to force mines to pop up, and then the vultures can gun them down. I've never seen a Terran player do that before. Ever. In my whole life. I've been watching this game for like 20 years. 15 years. And I've never ever seen someone use a Marine like that. Look at this. He's just gonna let that die now that it's done its job. Didn't have scanner, or he had scanner, but he didn't want to waste the energy. That's it. That's just how good light is. That is a shockingly good play, actually. Never even crossed my mind that that would be something that a player could do. But I guess it makes complete sense now that you think about it. The vultures can't trigger the mines, and so the mines just have to reburrow after the Marine gets picked back up. As long as you pick it up in time before the mines actually connect, they will just get gunned down or reburrow. Super, super cool stuff. Flash has his base up. Light getting his base up. Armories are done. We've got some wraiths coming out. Looks like we're gonna have an engagement here. Gonna try and push forward. Flash targeting onto the tanks pretty well, but there's quite a few tanks here in the middle. And so a lot of this is gonna get pushed down. Tanks splitting up here. Trying to kill this siege tank on the left-hand side. Manages to get that as well. Pretty even trade overall. A few more vultures on the side left over for Flash. A few more tanks left over for Light. And he's making some progress on this left-hand side. Still doing this trick with the dropship, which is kind of hilarious. Keeping that out in the front. He's gonna push up onto these tanks. Can he actually get that one? He will. Sieging up there. Flash is gonna try and take out these two tanks, but he loses one of his own in the process and takes quite a bit of damage as well. Picking up a vulture. Is he gonna drop on top of that tank, or is he gonna loop around? Looks like he'll loop around for bottom center. See if we can put some damage on that. We may end up in a situation, this is Fighting Spirit, where you have like a containment there, maybe across here, or perhaps like this along this way. Absolutely possible. Having the map, not unheard of in this matchup, that is for sure. Very normal set of circumstances. It's like the wraiths don't want to reveal themselves just yet. How many wraiths are we actually making? Oh, he flies the dropship right into the main and sees the triple port. That is huge. Valkyries will be coming here soon. In fact, he's immediately flying up to land this and build a control tower. Really important that he gets that online as soon as possible, because these wraiths are going to become a problem. Oh, he's not actually going to do that. That's interesting. I guess he'll just go for pure Goliath. Pure Goliath to deal with this. He starts Charon boosters. Triple wraiths still coming. Maybe he thinks that he won't continue with those wraiths. He thinks that the wraith play will just cease now that that's been spotted. We get a tank. We'll be forced back from these Goliaths. Don't have Charon boosters yet, though. It's a little bit easier to negotiate around these. Navigate around them. Looks like he'll get another Goliath. Wow, he's killed 2 Goliaths with these wraiths, and he'll get another one, too. One wraith does go down, but there's 2 Goliaths dead. That is quite annoying, and there's no Goliaths remaining. These 3 are going to have to wander their way over, but he'll probably end up losing a tank, maybe 2. Yeah, 2 tanks will end up going down. These wraiths are starting to very much pay for themselves. In fact, most of them will survive. 4 wraiths remain, 3 more on the way, and he'll bring these back, possibly repair those. He's got a couple SCVs over there to get that done, if he's interested in doing so. Sending an SCV down to the bottom left. Still nothing on that starport. I'm a little bit worried about Light. I thought he would go for more drops, but we're just giving up air domination to Flash. And this is a map where drops can be really big. If you can drop up here or up here, you can completely deny this top right quadrant. Ugh, losing a few wraiths that direction, but he's pushing on the left-hand side. That was a big mine there, connecting on some of those tanks and a bunch of the vultures as well. Pushing up towards this left-hand side. Can he make any headway here? It's like maybe some vultures running by. No, those wraiths heading northward. All the vultures have been cleaned up. Uh-oh, tanks walking through the middle actually end up dying for free. Flash falling apart a little bit. Is he going to be able to pull himself together? You can see he's only 10 supply behind. He's nearing this all-important bridge on Fighting Spirit. The natural is such an important location to keep defended. You have to allow unit flow out onto the map, and he's kind of blocked off there. So that's a big advantage in terms of positioning for Flash. But that could be quickly broken since he doesn't have many supporting units for these tanks. And the tanks are not set up in one long line either with a floating building. He just doesn't have the sight range to prevent Light from slowly pushing in on this. And especially if he gets a bunch of vultures and makes one big push, can easily smash through something like that. Light is taking multiple bases in top right. He's splitting the map in half. And I think we'll end up fighting for the right and left sides of the map unless something really big happens. Still no dropships. Flash has complete control of the air still. And so he's building triple dropship at a time. We may end up seeing him one massive doom drop to end this game. Light is already setting up. Look at him setting up mines. Putting turrets down. This is exactly what you should do when you know that your opponent has air dominance. Get prepped because he is going to start abusing his advantage very soon. That's so many wraiths. And dropships. 4 drops heading up towards top right. He scans top right. Does he? No. He scanned to make sure that he could clear out the mines. But he hasn't scanned up here. He doesn't want to alert his opponent to that presence. He scans, he sees all of the turrets and mines and decides against it, turning around. These mines are going to catch him on the retreat as well. Spotting those dropships, all importantly. Very important spot there. 3 more drops come out. More units are going to get loaded up. But will he find a place to fly past? I think that Light has been very smart to set this area up. But what if he flies straight through this rally point? If he flies straight through there and gets up on top of this high ground, there might not be a good response for Light. Where are the dropships going? They're heading over towards this location. I think he might try for it, guys. Flash is scanning. And Light is making a move on the right-hand side. This is the most important moment of this game. Will Flash pull the trigger here? Scan over that high ground. He sees where the dropships are. Light moving towards the natural of Flash. Pushed back once again. Too many turrets in the way. He could have used the wraiths as bait for the turrets and allowed the dropships to fly past, but instead he's going to pull his army back. I don't know if I like this. Light is getting an amazing position. Look at this concave over the natural now. Light is completely locked out of reinforcing his armies. He's going to unload a whole bunch of tanks. Try to set up a position here, but Light is going to slowly careen down towards this bottom center. And with the bottoms, oh god, the Goliaths here as well. Going to be picking off some dropships. Two dropships or so end up falling. These tanks on the low ground are doing a lot of damage. Some vultures up here at 12 are trying to get something done, try to kill some sort of workers, but that's crazy. 82 workers for Flash. I think that's a little bit excessive. Might have made SCVs at this point. May be able to clear out some of this just purely with SCVs, but some unsieged tanks will come up to save the day. This command center is nearly dead. Gonna have to be repaired. Dropships are gonna come up and drop right on top of this. So I guess he's just going to clear this out pretty easily, pretty handily. But on the left-hand side now, Light going to push through. Flash is being completely shoved back. He's also got his +2 done, but he just can't hold him any longer. GG is called. Flash taps out Light. Once again, dominant. That is crazy. Shocking that Light is so much stronger than Flash in TvT. I mean, it's been a long break, but I didn't expect Flash to get dunked quite like this. The builds in the first game were so similar. Yeah, it's... I want to say that it makes sense. It makes sense that Light would be able to beat Flash, but at the same time, it's kind of always a shock when Flash gets beaten 2-0 like this. This is a handily won series by Light. I didn't really feel like Light was in a dangerous territory at any point in this game, right? From the wall, from the point when he built the wall and didn't let the vultures run by, and he got the drop damage in, I felt like he had a pretty decent position, and he just solidly handled everything that Flash could have done. The turret placement is excellent. The mines, look at this turret battery right there. So many turrets over here, all the mines in there as well. He knows exactly what Flash was gunning for, and he just handled it perfectly. He macroed like a god, and Flash just gets absolutely shredded. This is wild, but there it is. These are the times we live in, guys. Funny to see him even send the science facility forward just to make sure that he had range on this entrance, because he had such a solid position there. All he really needed to do is contain that rally point and continue to break these small bits of army around the map for Flash, open up the map so that he can move into position and not be pushed back any longer. GG. Hope you guys enjoyed this TvT. If you're fond of TvT and want to see more games like this, let me know in the comments down below. If you're not a fan, but you still watch through to the end, you are a true soldier in the CNSC army. I appreciate the heck out of you, and I'll see you in the next one.